Happy New Year. Today's content is, do you really have self-love and self-worth? A lot of times when people ask that question, you would say, yes, I do. I love myself and I believe that I am worthy. But it all boils down not to what you say, but your actions and how you treat yourself and how you allow others to treat you. So this can go both ways. It can go for men or for women, but I'm particularly speaking to my women here. Do you have self-love and self-worth? So I'm going to ask you that question again, but in the form of some narratives. So if you have a set of standards, not preferences, but standards. Standards are things that are fundamental. They are your values. They are your morals. These are things that depict your character and how you see the world, your perspective on things, your sense of judgment and decision making. These are things that depict how you allow others to treat you, talk around you, and how you handle how you parent and how you go about your day. So an example would be if someone is cheating on you, because this is a lot that's in relationships. Someone may be dishonest or untrustworthy or cheating. So all of those things don't necessarily mean the same things, because you could not cheat on someone but still not be honest with them or open with them or transparent as you should be. I'm not saying you should be transparent in every aspect of your life and all of your inner thoughts, but things that are necessary, that's needed for the other person to know in their relationship. Are you withholding that? Are you causing there to be a compromise of trust? So if you have someone that is mistreating you or not loyal to you, cheating on you, or not trustworthy, and you have confronted them and they continue to do the same thing, and then you just give in and say, well, they need me, or they are important to me, so I'm just going to keep them in my life, knowing that they have a lack of respect for you because they're going to continue to do the same thing after you've already told them how you felt. And that's the standard. Then you don't have self-worth if you allow that person to stay in your life without making any changes. Think about a job. If your employer told you that, hey, I would like for you to come to work on time and speak to customers with respect, and you roll your eyes and you're like, whatever, and the exact next day you show up 10 minutes late and you had an attitude with a customer, and then they say, look, I'm telling you, you need to stop, and you roll your eyes and you continue to do it again. That company, because they do not want to lose the integrity they have for that company, because they don't want to lose customers, because they want all of their employees to be uniformed in under the rules that's set for them, they would fire you. If they kept you on, you would look at that company as a company that they just need somebody. So they just basically they're blowing smoke. They're a lot of talk, but they're not all that. They're not some prestige company, because usually companies who have some credibility to them, they're not going to let any and everyone work for them. They're just not. Companies lose their credibility when they allow any and everyone to work for them. I think about companies like McDonald's, for example. They lose their value and their quality when they have people who work for them and they allow them they don't have any high standards for their employees. But think about a company like in the same industry, but you think about a company like Chick-fil-A. The way their quality in their food, in their quality in customer service is different, because when you go to their restaurant, their employees are not going to talk to you any kind of way. They are going to show up and look a certain way. So there's, in the same way I explained that, that's how men are going to look at you women. And if you're a man, that's how women are going to look at you. When you say something and it's almost like you're talking out your neck because you're going to have to repeat yourself over and over again, but you have no value to it, then they're going to realize you don't care about yourself. You just need somebody. You're desperate. So you'll take anything. You understand? This is basic. This is something a child can understand. So if you're not grasping this concept, this is sad. Because think about it. I have an 18-month-old, a 3-year-old, and a 7-year-old, okay? And each one of them in their own age understands which adult they can try to get away with something and which adult they cannot. And I don't mean between my husband and I, but with other people. They understand that, maybe with the grandparents, they may be able to be one way. With the parents, they can be one way. And with their teachers, they can be one way. Because they know who's more stern, who's most likely to carry out the consequences if they don't do what they're told to do, and which ones they know that they're just going to say, stop, no. And the cycle continues, but no consequences. They know. Even children know. They know if daddy says stop, they must stop in their tracks. They know that. But if they have a nice teacher who does not do anything, does not carry out her or his consequences, they may get away with doing it the second and third time. So this is how the people in your life are going to be. When you set a standard, they're going to look to see if you're going to follow through, and there must be consequences. So the consequences, it says that if you do not confront this issue, let's talk about it, let's deal with it, let's fix it, let's make changes. If the other person roll their eyes, and it may not be they actually roll their eyes, but the attitude behind it is as if they rolled their eyes, turned their head and walked away, turn their back to you, the consequence is you will leave and don't come back. You will leave out my house, or you will leave out my life. You will, whatever it is, but you cannot enter back in with that level of respect. And sometimes people shake their head like, whatever, I'll be back. And the consequence that you should carry out is you follow through with it. That shows them how much you value yourself and you value your standards, and that you mean what you say, especially if you're a man. If you are a man, your word is your bond. So when you say something, you must mean it. So there will be women that will come to you and they will, play games, or you may say what you do or do not like, a level of respect or this. And I'm not saying you need to be disrespectful. No, there's always a way you can do something with tact. You can say, hey, these are the things I like. These are the things I do not like. And if they continue to do it, then you pretty much show them the door. You cut them off. And you can do that by saying, hey, I'm one of those people that I don't like to say things more than once. I think we've had this discussion twice, and I feel like nothing is changing. And I'm thinking that I'm just going to have to let this relationship go. It's not working out. And when you say it, you mean it. If you are a woman and the guy is cheating on you, or the guy is disrespecting you or talking to you some kind of way, or whatever it is that he is doing that you disapprove of, if you say, I don't like this, then you need to deal with it. But when you say this, sometimes people, they'll be in a relationship 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, saying the same thing over and over. What makes you think that person is going to listen or believe anything you say? What makes you think that they're going to believe anything you say? Because you've dealt with it for years. So the only way you can prove to them that you have now revelations, that you've come to the light, and that now from now on, you're going to mean what you say, is to carry out the consequences of people not following your standards. Again, this does not mean to be disrespectful, rude, belittling, condescending. This means you're telling them, I love myself too much to allow someone to mistreat me. I don't even talk to myself this way. Why would I let you? I know I have so much worth in myself that I'm not going to let you devalue me. See, all of this, though, comes with mindset. The question really is, why don't you love yourself? Why don't you value yourself? Why do you feel that you're this desperate that you need someone in your life who's going to mistreat you? Why do you feel that you can't let this person go knowing how they've treated you? Why do you feel that you can't move on without them? And why do you feel that you can't be happy without them? Why do you feel that you need someone in your life who's not going to do you any good? You know, this is like if you have children, think about the friend who's always leading your child to do wrong. And that child can say, I know, but they're my friend. They're my friend. Are they really? Are they really? Friends don't do that. So then ask yourself the question, do they really love you? Do they even want you? Do they even like you? Do they? And why do you feel that even through all of this, they still want you? What they do is they see that you are a sucker in their game. And rather than you deciding, I'm going to leave and not play this twisted game, you say, shoot, I already invested all my time I can't get back. So I just might as well waste more time in being their friend and being their lover because I have nothing else waiting for me. I already spent 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, and so forth. So let me just waste another 6 years because if I get out of this relationship, I'm afraid what's on the other side. I'm afraid to grow. I'm afraid to have to start over. So I might as well go through all of this. Then you're not tired. So stop telling the person in a relationship, I'm tired of you mistreating me like that. You're not. Because when you're tired, that's it. You're done. You're done. I remember my mom was telling me, I can't remember, we were watching a movie and I was asking her, well, you know, why do people stay in relationships that's, abusive? Why? What's the point of staying in a relationship that's, where people are doing this to them? And they say, well, you know what? When people hit rock bottom, when people are sick and tired of being sick and tired, that's when people make the change. So really, if you're staying in a relationship that is not, the other person's not doing any work or they don't really like you, they don't even talk like they like you as a person. They don't even treat you like you are somebody of value. You could probably say, I'm leaving if you don't change your attitude, and they'll probably roll their eyes and be like, whatever. Like, you know that deep down they would do that. And that's what you're afraid of. And that means you're not tired. You're not that tired yet because you're willing to keep trucking along in that same toxic relationship because you don't feel that there's anything else to offer you out there in the world. But there is. But you won't give it a chance. If you have people to look up to you, you're not setting a good example. So, with that being said, do you really have self-love and self-worth? Do you really? So look at how you allow others to treat you. Look at how you treat yourself and use that as a good measure. So that is all I have for you. Take care.